everyone. I got a few questions recently relating to my land clearing and spiritual mediumship post. So I really wanted to answer some questions and clear some things up for everyone and maybe help educate people and just kind of help, take away some misinformation in the community. So what exactly is a spirit or a ghost? So what we would commonly see as a ghost, and what I mean by that is when grandma dies and you smell her perfume around, or you hear her favorite music playing in the background, or that kind of thing, and you feel her presence, like she's there, that kind of thing. Or you move to a new home and maybe someone had passed away on the land, and you start seeing kind of apparitions and things in the shadows, that kind of thing. So what this is, what you're seeing is an exiting tulpa, and what this is it's a soul that at one time lived on earth and had a physical body, and they pass away, and so their source consciousness is no longer connected to their physical body. However, they do leave an imprint, or like a fingerprint almost. It's not the thumb itself, but it is a fingerprint. It's their specific energetic signature, and a lot of times this is what we're seeing, and that's almost why it kind of seems like ominous and creepy sometimes, like they're kind of observing. And what you'll notice with an exiting tulpa is once someone passes away, like right after they pass away, and I've personally experienced this with loss in my own life. When someone passes away, they're very much so like themselves. They're the way that, and if you have, or if you yourself, or if you yourself are, or a medium, they'll say this as well, but they're very clear, very much so like their original persona. But as time goes on, years and years and years, as time goes on, these souls tend to not embody so much of their personality as you knew them, and they start embodying certain things about their personality that were very prominent, or that they really identified around, or that you yourself identified around themselves, or that kind of thing. So for example, I have a soldier that actually walks around the land near my home here, and it's almost like he knows he's a soldier. He doesn't remember whether or not he has a wife and kids. It's almost like it feels right for him, but he's not 100% sure. But a lot of his persona, a lot of his identification came around being a soldier and having a job in the military. And so for him, it's almost like he's not really sure, and he's not embodying a lot of his persona. And so what you'll see is, like with haunted houses and things like that, people see these spirits more easily because people are constantly feeding thought and energy and consciousness into them, and so they are stronger and more prevalent. And spirits truly, they reside everywhere. So I can't honestly say that there's many places that I've walked that there's not a spirit residing in the property or around the property. Most times multiple ones, especially if there's a lot of, there's been a lot of death near or around the property, or if there's like those kind, or like there was a funeral home I went near and there was a lot of spirits walking around there. But yeah, so it's basically just like energy that isn't necessarily, is still connected to source, but isn't necessarily being fed by source. And so then you have an entering tulpa. And what an entering tulpa is, and a lot of times we feel this more as like warmth and love and sunshine and this kind of thing. And an entering tulpa is a lot less common. And what you'll see with an entering tulpa is that they come to only when they're really needed. The source will only place itself where it's really, really needed. And so if your, let's say, grandma is on her deathbed and she's about to pass away, she probably feels a lot more comfortable with grandpa coming in, as in entering tulpa and kind of helping grandma pass along and ease the transition process through death. And so that kind of thing is a little different, a lot less common. You'll see this with like when people have divination messages, or just like angelic messages or visitations by, their spirit guides, this kind of thing. But more common than not, you have a lot of exiting tulpas. There's a lot of spirits that reside around Earth. So if you have any questions, or you want to talk about any of your experiences, or you're just curious to know more, feel free to contact me. I am in the process of figuring out how I'm going to do the mediumship sessions, and I'm in the process of figuring out how I'm going to do land clearings and what exactly I'm going to include in those. Because every situation is a little different, and you're not always dealing with with human spirits. Sometimes it's nature spirits and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of extra stuff that comes along with clearings and with understanding your surroundings. But it's not spooky, it's not scary, and if we can start re-educating ourselves and making it a lot less taboo, and just start, exploring and really reaching to understand, we can come to a real place of love and of groundedness and safety. And I really, really hope through my work that I can do this, that I can educate people and help people understand the things that they're seeing and the things that they're perceiving, because sometimes it can be kind of jarring and scary. We're all waking up. This is a beautiful process, sometimes a little bit of a nerve-wracking one, but I'm here to help you. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to contact me.